Hey everyone, Robin from Backscatter here, and today we're covering the Flip 7 color correction system for GoPro cameras. Flip 7 is a modular filter and lens system that gets you pro-level color results from your GoPro with a simple flip design. The basic concept is that because a GoPro has such a limited and strictly automatic white balance, a filter is needed to restore the colors you would otherwise lose when shooting underwater. With Flip 7, you can flip between different filters for different depth ranges, like the shallow for 5 to 20 feet, the dive for 20 to 50 feet, and the deep for 50 feet and below. We've spent hundreds of dives testing and geeking out over color results to develop these three filters for the best underwater color at their depth ranges. But Flip isn't only about color correction. We also developed the Plus 15 Macromate Mini Lens to be the sharpest macro optic for GoPro cameras underwater. It's a totally custom optic with a vacuum-sealed dual glass element design. Now, it's not a magnifying lens, rather it's a close focus lens which allows you to push in and shoot those little golf ball sized macro subjects full frame in sharp focus from about 3 to 4 inches away. Backscatter's been making GoPro accessories back since the old GoPro Hero 1, and now we're really proud to have the most backwards compatible filter system ever with Flip 7. This works with Hero 3, 3 Plus, 4, 5, 6, and of course, Hero 7. Now the frame itself is machined from aircraft grade aluminum, and it's super durable while staying very lightweight and low profile. Flip filters are virtually unbreakable, as demonstrated here in the Backscatter R&D department. The Flip frame is designed to work with GoPro brand housings like the Super Suit and the older Standard and Dive housings. Adapters for each housing are included with every Flip kit. Now you will need the housing to mount the Flip system, so even if you have a waterproof Hero 5, 6, or 7, you're still going to need the housing to actually install that Flip frame. There are 4 different kits that we offer. There's the single Flip kit, which offers just a single hinge Flip frame and the dive filter. There's the 3 filter kit, which is our most popular, that has a double hinge Flip frame and the shallow, dive, and deep filters. There's the Macromate Mini kit with the lens and the 55mm threaded adapter that you need to install it. Then we also offer the Pro Pack, which is the 3 filter kit and the Plus 15 Macromate Mini lens for a couple bucks less than if you were to buy them individually. We also offer some specialty filters like the Green Water filter for diving in conditions similar to what we would find here at our home base in Monterey, and the Night Sea filter for diving with specialized lights for fluorescence excitation on night dives. Between the variety of filters and optics that we offer with the Flip filter system and its super simple modular design, it's really easy to configure your GoPro perfectly for whatever you need to capture underwater. So now let's take a look at what comes in the box and how to use it. The system is self-contained and travel ready in this slick little neoprene carrying case. In the main pouch, there's room for the Flip frame with 2 filters installed, and it also has a couple other pockets for your spare filter, your adapters, and the tools. The dive and deep filters are pre-installed on the frame, and then we have the shallow filter here in this pouch. We also have the adapter for the older Standard housing, while the Super Suit adapter is pre-installed in the Flip frame. This little silver tab with the self-adhesive backing on it is only needed for the older Standard housing, and we'll cover how that works in just a minute. If you're a Super Suit or a Dive housing user, you can just totally ignore this piece. The 2 sizes of Allen key are for the retaining screw and the filter screws, and they're stored here in these little sleeves. And finally, we've got the lens removal tool for the GoPro camera itself in this other pouch here. We'll also come back to how this is used in a minute. Now, if you do get the Macromate Mini lens, it comes with its own little neoprene pouch, and it comes pre-threaded onto the required 55mm threaded adapter. This is what mounts in place of the filter and allows for the use of the Macromate Mini lens and other 55mm threaded accessories. The Macromate Mini also includes a guide stick for determining the minimum focus distance of your camera. Use the focus stick to determine minimum distance by aligning the notch for your corresponding camera model to the front of the Macromate Mini lens. That'll tell you exactly what the minimum focus distance is before the camera drops focus. So now that we know what everything is, let's actually get it installed on our housing. We recommend having at least one filter installed and flipped down while putting the frame onto the housing. This helps ensure a nice flush fit with the front of the housing. Take the larger of the two Allen keys, loosen up that retaining bolt, and then double check that you have the necessary adapter installed on the housing. Remember, that's the thin adapter for the Super Suit for Hero 5, 6, or 7. The thick adapter works for the standard housing, or you don't need any adapter at all if you're using the larger port dive housing. Then you just want to press down nice and evenly with the palm of your hand until that frame is on there nice and flush. You can check this and ensure that it's flush by taking a look for any gaps around the edge of the filter. Then just tighten down that retaining screw until it's snug and you're basically good to go. Now, if you're using that old standard housing, there is one more step. This is where you want to take that little flip tab and self-adhere it onto the top of the housing latch. This gives you a little more leverage to lift it up while the flip frame is in place, but make sure to give it about 24 hours to fully set before you start yanking on it or taking it in the water. So that's pretty much it. Flip the filters in place with a solid snap or flip them back into either of the two locking detent positions. Once they're flipped back, they're pretty much rock solid and really don't pose any risk of accidentally flipping down into your shot by mistake. Use the first stop for easier flips on and off, or lock those filters all the way back to be in the most secure position possible with the second position. Now you can just use the smaller of the Allen keys to loosen up the filter screws and configure that system with whatever combination of filters and lenses best suits your needs. If you're using the Macromate mini lens, we do recommend setting that up on the side mount so that the heavier weight of the lens is less likely to get bumped and cause it to accidentally flip down into your shot. One question we get asked a fair amount is about using the Macromate mini lens and a color correction filter at the same time. You'll notice that if you try to flip the two down together, they don't overlap. And this is because really, when you're shooting macro, you need a video light to get proper exposure on your subject, and because you're using the video light at such a small shooting distance, it's really going to provide all the color that we need on our subject, meaning that macro does not require a filter as long as you're using a light. But that being said, we do actually make some 55mm threaded filters that stack on top of the macro lens. There's not a lot of application for that, but people do ask for them, so we did make them. Now, the last step here is to install the camera in the housing, and that's where the little red flip tool comes in. Now, this is just a handy little thing that we came up with to help remove the lens on the Hero 5, 6, and 7 cameras before installing them in the Super Suit as is required. Just slide this tool in between the lens and the camera body, give it a little twist, and this provides enough leverage to make it that much easier to just pop that lens off of the camera rather than doing it by hand. For ultimate stability and control, we recommend mounting the housing on a nice double handle tray. This is going to smooth out your footage, plus give you something a little more ergonomic to hold on to into the water. If you're shooting macro, you might want to consider adding a tripod into the mix for rock solid, tight shots of tiny subjects, because nobody likes watching shaky macro footage. Throw a couple of video lights on that system as well, and then you're pretty much fully loaded and ready to start capturing the best looking underwater footage possible from a GoPro camera. Flip 7's available not only from us here at Backscatter directly, but also from our dealers all over the world. No matter where you buy your Flip 7 system, the team is here at Backscatter to help you out with free lifetime tech support. We dive, shoot, and service everything that we sell, and we're always happy to help, so don't hesitate to reach out to us with any questions that you have. You can also help us make more of these videos by liking, sharing, subscribing, and telling all your dive buddies to check us out and to get their underwater photo and video gear from us here at Backscatter. Thanks for watching, and happy shooting!